Hello everyone and welcome to Sass RPG Night Vol.2. Oh boy. My name is Peter Quiche and I play Marasi and I might be about to die today, so you might be about to watch a murder. We'll see. At least a problem that has escalated to the point where I'm not sure I'll survive it. It's fine. I'm sure everything is fine. But I actually won't be talking a lot this for this particular session. I'll be muted. I will be unable to speak, unfortunately, so that's alright with me. But let's get back in the party because you hear them a lot today, I do believe. Okay, hello.
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 Hello. Oh, use this SP.
Wait, what?
No one? No one? Okay.
What?
Nothing. We were talking about fourth walls and Voldir becoming self-aware.
Oh.
With the
Magna said beep boop. Hello, Internet.
Voldir apparently became self-aware, his consciousness rising above the board, and seeing all these paper faceless, like these expressionless faces on paper, and looking up, and there are titans there.
Interesting.
And we were talking about the fourth wall because he rolled a nat 20 on perception, and he suddenly he became enlightened.
Oh, cool.
First actual roll of the day. Now everything will be under a 5.
Yay.
Now we're right back to normal. Good job, Naura. That's why I told you not to roll.
Listen, I'm not going to be able to do anything this session anyway, so...
You're
You say
shopping
that.
for houses.
You say
You
that.
find us at your house.
Okay, hang on. You say that. You are actually incorrect. Every member of the party can provide input. There are certain characters who will have more to add than others during this session. So for a bit of point of reference here, before we get started, for those of you watching on or listening in, we had a pre-session meeting together, everybody in the party, and I informed them, given them a general rundown of what today's session is going to be like, at least in terms of input from the party. They understand there will be multiple phases to this session. We could go into 2 sessions as a result of this. Petrie's character, Marasi, will be prevented from speaking during certain parts. She will be able to speak at other parts. Certain members of the party will only certain members of the party will be allowed to speak at some parts. Everybody will be able to speak at other parts. But there are also things that can happen outside of the trial, which I believe one character is going to be doing here in just a little bit. We'll sort that out. Right. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We've already been through the last time on RPG Night with Sass Vol.2. We're not going to get into that. We're going to get straight into the heart of the matter. Marasi!
Magna said, and with that said, friends, viewers, people on the internet, let's prevent some war crimes.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
What the heck?
God
Magna
damn it,
said
Liz.
amen.
Fantastic. Amen. Right, so let's begin, shall we?
Yeah.
We begin the session with Marasi basically led, unable to speak, chained into a side holding area. She is sat down in a chair with a fairly large table, almost like an interrogation room type of area. The guards then proceed, or one of the guards proceeds to pull out a scroll as the rest of the guards leave the area and proceed to take their position outside the room. The rest of the party, if they want to, is being led into that room, not chained, not restrained in any way, shape, or form. You are being led to the room which Marasi is being held. Do you follow?
Question from Voldir to just Voldir and Wimtoss positioning. Wimtoss.
Yeah.
Do you think that we'd be heading back in, or do you think we'd be able to do more outside? Nudge, nudge.
You also don't know, because your characters are outside, you don't know what's going on inside.
No.
Unless we've been messaged. Or
You have
do
not been
the
messaged
sending?
as of yet.
Okay.
No, we'd probably still be trying to get away from our tail. I think. To be honest.
Octaya, because of what's going on right now, because you weren't here last session, I declared that you would have the choice. Do you want to be in with the main group, or did you want to be with Naura and Wimtoss on the side doing what they were doing, which was, if I remember correctly, they were trying to break off the tail originally. That was the original stated purpose of them breaking off, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
And what was the other one? Being inside where Marasi is?
Your choices are you're where Marasi is, or you were So the choice that was going to be made was, did you head for the council, or did you try to break off what was following you heading to the council?
Keep in mind there were 5 people.
Oh, that's already been discussed.
Yeah.
Octaya, there were 4
Okay.
people following you.
Head to the council.
Head to the council. You're being led to where Marasi is right now. Do you follow? Basically,
Wait.
everyone except Wimtoss and Valdir.
Yep. Follow what?
To where Marasi is being held. You're following the guards that brought you in to begin with.
No.
You do not, okay?
No.
Let's start with who is then. Who is
Kojiro would.
Okay.
Magnus
Magnus follows. Okay.
So is this the trial room that they're following her into, or
No, it's like an interrogation room, so to speak, which is being used as a holding area.
Got it.
Long story short, you're not being restrained, you're not being chained, you're not being anything. The only one that is Marasi. The only one that is Marasi.
I have a question actually. Is Hayan with us as well?
No,
Oh,
neither Hayan nor Falar are there.
Alright. What about the guard captain dude?
Per rules of the trial, he cannot be there.
Ah.
Not at this particular moment. He will be at the trial. To maintain impartiality, he cannot be there.
Yeah.
You would be told that on your way there.
Alright. Then before I would head out to ask Marasi what I would want to know,
Hang on, but you're heading there, right?
I will head there.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure first, because there's something important that has to happen first before that happens.
Yeah.
What about? Okay, yeah. So King Sonya, you're heading there with Croesus. Wimtoss,
Still outside.
you're outside, right? That's right.
Here.
That's right. So I believe that is everyone then.
Arcana.
Arcana said yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so that's a yes for everyone except for Octaya. Octaya, I will get to you after I take care of.
That's fine.
You
I'll
got
say
it.
Whisper.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking you were going to do here. That's why I'm going to get to you next. Okay.
Perfectly fine.
All right. So first things first. Let's get to the ones that are going inside. By the way, Octaya, you would not be restricted from leaving the area, leaving the Elder Tree if you so chose.
Get to that later.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get to that later. Everybody else who's following, you arrive in the holding area, or to the outside of the holding area, in which 4 guards are stationed outside. One of the guards begins to speak before you enter. The guard that's inside will explain everything. He will formally read out the charges directly to Marasi and to whomever is to be whomever's to be her representative. I've been told if you have any questions, that any of us guards will be able to answer them at any time. However, before that happens, we must read off the charges as written to Marasi, or excuse me, not to Marasi, so I'm pulling up the name. Hang on. They would not be referring to Marcy. I'm sorry. As they are read to Petrie, help me.
Nira,
Nira, there we go.
you're welcome.
As read to Nira, and whomever her representative would be. Do you understand this?
Yes, we do.
Door
now
opens.
thank him for his services in Elvish.
Yeah. By the way, Marasi, you're already in the room and did not hear any of this.
Never mind then.
You're already. Yeah.
I hear
That's okay.
nothing.
But you're about to hear all of it.
Lovely.
You're about to. So it's you don't lose anything on this.
Yeah.
So Octaya hears this too.
Octaya would not. Octaya would hear this part of it, but would not hear anything else once they go into the room.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, another guard would be telling you that information as well. So you're good.
All right.
The main portion of the party enters what appears to be a interrogation type chamber. A fairly large table, enough to seat maybe 6 to 8 at the table. Marasi is already chained on one end of the table, unable to speak, as if her mouth is bound by some sort of how should I put this?
Gag?
I guess you could say duct tape. Whatever the equivalent of duct tape would be,
A
basically.
gag.
Yeah, in fact, whatever, yeah.
Cloth.
Whatever it would be. Yeah, cloth,
The
there we go.
struggles of being a mouth mage.
Okay,
sorry.
mage tape, yes. Phil Swift is here somewhere.
Oh my god.
Anyway, right.
So we'll get ready for a lot of damage.
There's only one guard inside. That guard has a scroll in his hand. When everybody enters, the door shuts behind you, and he begins to speak. I apologize for your accommodations, but considering the large number of you, we felt like this would be the most appropriate room to handle this business. It is my duty to read the charges as officially laid out by Vedwi Estelle. By the way, everything being said is being spoken in Elven.
Ghost understands.
I understand.
The charges would then be repeated in... Oh, wait, no. Wimtoss is not there. Magnus, refresh my memory. What race are you?
He's halfling.
Halfling.
Halflings, okay. Do you know Gnomish? Or Elvish?
Nope.
You do not. Okay, so you would not understand then. Only people who can understand Elvish or Gnomish. Anyone who understands Gnomish would get it the second time through, because it would be repeated in Gnomish. Just FYI. Okay.
If he needs, I can translate for him.
That's fine, I'm just letting you know what's going on as far as initial understanding. Okay. So, the homeland of Vedwi Estelle hereby formally charges Nira with the following charges. Number 1, that she did commit treason amongst her people by putting them in grave danger through an ancient and forbidden magic. Number 2, that she did commit theft from an ancient library in order to procure said magic. Number 3, defying her, breaking her exile by returning to Vedwi Estelle and the Elven lands as a whole. Do you understand these charges?
Yes, sir.
The guard is looking directly at Marasi at this particular moment, looking for a nod or a head shake. The guard proceeds at this point. I'm also told that since some of you are outsiders, that you will need to know exactly what will consist of this trial. There are 4 phases to this trial. The first phase is when the charges will be laid bare for all to know. This will be made in the court setting. However, prior to the court setting, you are to know exactly what charges will be laid upon you. At this time, evidence will be presented from both sides. You will have a chance to present what evidence you would like to present, and the prosecution will as well. At which time said lists will be exchanged, and you can begin to form your case at that time. At which time there would be a break for both sides to seek counsel and prepare their case. The second phase of the trial will be the witness phase. During the witness phase, witnesses will be brought forth to present various forms of evidence, whether it be in the form of physical witness, in which he holds something in his hand, which would be the equivalent of, say, just flat-out evidence, or a living witness, in which in which the guard points to you, the party, to designate, people. How you choose to present your cases of your own making. However, be aware that there are certain lines you cannot cross during the trial. Number one, you cannot directly accuse the other side of lying. You can, however, present evidence to show it, but you cannot directly accuse verbally someone of lying. Number two, you cannot, under any circumstances, use any form of magic during the proceedings. Any use of magic is considered an immediate admission of guilt, and all charges laid against Marasi will be deemed sufficiently guilty. She will be executed on the spot. Those are the only two rules that you must abide by. Do you understand these rules? Again, the guard looks at Marasi. One final note. When I leave this room, I will be casting a spell to unbind any ability for you to speak or communicate with your counsel. You'll be able to speak freely with anyone in this room, and anyone you deem fit to be brought into this room within reason. Those people must be, however, they must be listed on your list of evidence in order to be brought in here for review. Do you understand this? I hereby declare my portion of this trial complete. He begins to speak an incantation, and Marasi is able to speak once again. The guard then leaves the room, shuts the door behind him, and locks it. You can also tell outside the room, just FYI, that the room is not just physically locked, but it is also magically locked. Anyone that has any ability to cast spells would be able to tell this.
Okay.
The room is now yours and yours alone.
Well, this has gotten interesting.
Magna said, well, this is definitely a pickle.
Had you told me you were going to immediately call them out on someone being a traitor, I would have had a different plan. Well, we roll with what we get.
Well,
so what'd you tell them word for word?
I told them that there was a traitor among them who was working with Rem, which is true.
Okay. Who in Rem?
You read the information with me, Kojiro. It was the person who is head of the coup in Rem.
Say again?
It's either
head of the coup.
Yes.
Which coup?
The one currently going on in Rem that got you kicked out and got everything messed up.
I wasn't kicked out, I left.
Okay, well you left, but still, they still want you dead for a reason.
They want me dead for something I did.
They also want you dead, as I read back into the thing. Give me a second.
I'm just confirming something with Petrie. Hang on just a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on. There's a reason behind that.
Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah, this is a lot harder than it looks, apparently. Let's see. What's this one?
That's your answer right there.
Right, okay. Right, yes, okay. So...
Oh, and one follow-up, you would also know that... you would also... Actually, wait, scratch that. Never mind, proceed. I was going to say something, but I forgot. You don't know that side of it just yet. Proceed.
Okay, hang on, I just sneeze.
Yeah,
maybe.
no problem.
Also, don't forget that Esper had detect thoughts on when they were, when she was doing her accusation. So I'm guessing that he would tell exactly what all of them were thinking.
Yeah. So, just so you know, until the, one thing to note, until the point which this was declared to you, any use of spells would not be held against you. So basically, she's not automatically guilty because you used detect thoughts before that happened.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay?
It was written by an unknown Lord of Rem, which you and I worked together to figure out that it was either, you'd said it maybe a baron or possibly the prince. I don't know precisely.
The prince is a possible candidate. One is one of the lords, but neither one of them had power backing, and probably currently still don't, to plan any kind of coup.
Well, they're the ones seeking to bring Rem together, and for that they need you dead, apparently.
That is one of the stipulations my brothers have made. Well, two of them at least. I now know one of them is still aiding to help me.
It just doesn't make
For that
sense.
I'm eternally grateful. Rem's political system's a little weird.
The part of this doesn't make sense, and the reason why I am very, very certain there's somebody in Vedwiesel who is working with Rem is that for some reason the Rem invaders or the Row Guards were told that I was there and that I was dangerous and needed to be killed, which is not true. And they used
name.
Correct. So it's someone from here.
Actually, to make it to that to our advantage, let's all refer to you as your old name.
Well, they're only gonna call me that here. They don't recognize my own name, which is...
I meant those of us who know it.
Right. They have been calling me Nira the entire time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll do the same, so...
One final thought, I apologize. There's one final thought I need to mention to all of you here as you're going through this pre-trial phase. Remember when I've been talking to you guys about the puzzle pieces and you guys not having all the puzzle pieces and whatnot? This is just my warning to everyone in the party. The puzzle piece that links everything together, or at least most of the picture together, will be coming during the next session or two.
Yeah.
A lot of the questions that you have are going to be answered if, and only if, you catch it.
Alright.
So pay very close attention. That's my warning to everyone here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is there anything else you said about who this person was relaying information to? Just that they planned a coup?
It's someone high up in Rem. It's somebody important in Rem. In order for all these pieces to work together, at least as far as I understand, is that it would need to be someone high up, and it's the leadership or some sort of person high up or trying to be high up in Vedwiesel, in Rem, and in Row.
Yeah. Well, I blame myself on this one. I hadn't told you guys. Rem still isn't unified. If the Elvish Council votes yes, Rem will instinctively be unified. They'll have a common enemy. That's probably the play they're looking
Potentially.
My guess is whoever is in charge of the blockade is, well, one of those lords. If it was one of my brothers, well, we'd already be seeing armies. He's hunting the city.
So the question becomes, how do we convince them that I didn't do what they're telling me I did? Because I didn't.
That is an interesting question. We have to know where were you when these things were accused. We don't know a lot of things.
I mean, okay. So maybe a little bit of history would be helpful here, I suppose. I grew up here, of course, in Vedwiestel, and I went to the Mage College here in Vedwiestel, so I learned the bit of magic that I know, or at least the stuff I knew before I left, I learned here. And that library was kind of the center point, and was definitely something. I mean, everyone was in the library, was the thing. I remember at one point, and it's kind of fuzzy. Hang on, I'm getting stuff from Liz.
Fine.
Confirming something with important detail.
Yeah.
Just so there's not a misspeak on this, because it's important.
It is. This is very, very... I'm being very, very delicate with my words here on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is a very delicate situation.
Yeah. You would know from Kajur's facial expressions right now, he's not happy and he's very angry since when you mentioned a coup in Ren.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Magnus.
Oh no! I'll do my best. Okay, thank you, Liz. I remember being in the library, I remember being in the restricted section at one point, and I remember getting caught there, but I don't remember why. They told me that's where I was. They told me that's why I was exiled, was that, but I don't know what happened.
Okay, so it's safe to say whoever performed this ancient magic is framing you quite obviously. Who, we don't know. We don't even know what ancient magic it was, or how it posed a danger. Our lack of knowledge is currently to our greatest weakness.
Yeah. And I definitely wouldn't steal anything. That is something that seems just bizarre to me.
It is. I haven't known you to be a thief.
Now, point 3 of breaking exile, yeah, I mean, standing here, obviously that one's true.
Yes. That one is very true and understandable.
But it was only under the greatest circumstance of needing to save the whole of my people that I came back.
Remind me again, what exactly was it that got you exiled, if it wasn't?
Well, on paper, she's accused of stealing a book with ancient magic and performing one of those ancient magics, putting...
I'm not talking about the charges we just heard. She was exiled for something else.
Well, they told me that I was caught in the restricted section. That was the reason. I don't remember going in the restricted section in the library. That's not some place I needed to go. Part of me wonders if...
Petrie intelligence save.
Thank you. I have an idea of how to defend myself, and I don't want to do it.
I can't do it with a 12, though.
Oh no.
Keep going.
Shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know,
but...
the current
They're
plan
gonna
of-
help, but they won't hurt you.
Well, the possibility of getting out of this would throw Falar into the bus, and I can't do that. So I just had a thought, and I can't do that. Okay, I was saying something. What was I saying?
Why you were exiled.
Right.
You were caught in the library, and you don't know why. You have no reason why you would be in that section of the library, because why would I be in a library? And then I said intelligence save.
Yeah, it makes no sense. They're the ones telling me I was there. In their secret section. I was in the library all the time for the normal section, for the regular school books and everything else. But never the restricted section. That wasn't my place. And then on top of that, I stole a book? No.
To be specific, they didn't declare that you stole a... Well, okay, wait, no, that's right. Because, yeah, never mind. That's right. Never mind. Go ahead.
I did say that, yeah.
Yeah, because I did, because the spell was in that book. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did say that.
Sorry to say this, but this is very much against us.
I agree.
My personal opinion, we're at a huge disadvantage of both knowledge and able to defend against these charges. We have very little or no evidence. They can create any evidence they need, practically out of thin air. Saying they will, but they could. I can say for certain, whoever is Frame You definitely knows you, and you probably know them.
Does seem likely.
And that person probably had a grudge against you. Used to
Not
use a
sure why
scapegoat.
on that one either.
That one I'm saying maybe on it could be someone pretending to be your friend as well.
There's a lot of things I don't
Many
know in
maybes.
this, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Reasonably so. There's not much I can do in my situation. My greatest strength would come towards making arguments against the most. It's what I hoped to do.
Okay. Do we go on the attack here then? Because I'm not sure how to defend.
Well, we can't. We have no idea who. So, if we were to go on the attack, we'd be mashing out blindly almost.
Yeah,
Which would look even worse for us.
I agree. I don't have any solid evidence, but
We can't very well defend, and we can't attack accurately.
it's only a hunch right now as to who may be behind this.
Well, who do you believe it is?
Oh, good. Putting cards on the table. Okay. Don't have any.
So basically, you don't go on the attack until phase 2 or defense or anything. It is simply a kind of an opening statement and presentation of various evidences, and you would be given time once an evidence list is presented to you, to your group. You would have a chance to look. You would have a chance to. Well, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. You would now that the charges are laid bare, because they gave you the charges, you have the opportunity to build a list of things, and once the charges are officially made formal in court, you can still add to that list by requesting a specific motion to hold the trial. And Petrie and Octaya would know this, but Octaya's not there right now. So, but Petrie would know this. You could request for a small recess to I guess, how should I put this?
Evaluate the situation.
Not evaluate's the wrong word. Like, once the statements are made, you'll have some time to directly, because they have to basically detail a timeline of XYZ. Crime,
Yeah.
crime. You know, they have to detail crime. Here's everything in between. And then phase 2 is how do all the points connect together? With physical and living evidence. So you will have time after the formal accusations and timeline is laid bare. You can begin to process that list of how to properly defend yourself. So not to worry on that part of it. I'm not throwing y'all in an unwinnable situation like that. That's not fair to you guys. You'll have time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just DM note. Go ahead.
So, as far as evidence or witnesses,
We have none.
well, I wouldn't say that. Provided we can get Wimtas in here, he would make an excellent character witness. As I've known
hear a
him
knock on the
longest.
door.
Hey, knock on the door.
My turn
You
to see
hear-
who will enter.
Nobody has entered. You hear a voice coming through the door, though. The prosecution declares they are ready to begin the trial. Are you ready to begin the trial?
Look at Kojiro.
No, not yet. We're still gathering up a game plan right now.
I've been told to tell you that based on your request for expediency of this trial, you will have 5 minutes before the trial is set to begin. Have you decided upon your representative?
Look at the available people standing in the room.
Well, our best shot would have been Taya, but I don't know where she is right now.
Octavia can still serve as a representative even if she's not in the room, can't she?
She can serve as a representative once she is back in the room, yes. But you don't have to be physically in that room right now to be the representative. You do not.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can name
Cool,
Octavia as
okay.
the representative right now. You could name Wimtoss as your representative. You could name Baron, but Baron's Esper's not here.
Esper is here. He's just not talking.
Yeah. So, and you could also name Magnus, but Magnus is dealing with Gremlin Party.
Yeah.
Damn it! Just limits your
Yep,
choices to
it's all right.
Wimtoss and Octavia.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay. You're I'm counting on you.
What's the
Already on
plan?
my way to get some help.
Cool. Thanks.
Also, Marase,
Yes.
if you
Let's do that. Let's actually take care of that right now, Octavia, because I think
Oh,
I
okay.
think by taking care of that now, we can solidify moving forward to phase 1.
Okay.
I think that might be wise. Octavia, let's take care of yours next, and then we'll
Hello.
take care of Naura and Wimtoss. So, Octavia.
Mhm.
Actually, first off, let me go ahead and switch the music because we don't need that music now. We need this music now. Okay. As you said that you were seeking out someone, correct?
Not really seeking, going to visit her house.
Well, yeah. You're going to visit a someone that you know.
Correct.
All right. Not too hard to find. In
No.
fact, you know exactly where they are. Come on.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, you would know so. It takes you about maybe. By the way, the amount of time that's passed inside the chamber is approximately 30 minutes.
Okay.
For point of reference, Octavia, it takes you about 10 minutes.
Okay. Question. This will be a DM question.
Uh-huh.
Does she know Everill's dead yet?
No.
Sure. Silverhand.
Wait, scratch that. Hang on. Timeline. Yes, she would. Timeline,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, it's been long enough for travel work to
I
travel
was
that
gonna
far.
say.
Yeah, it's been long enough, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been more than a week, so yes.
It's been like a month.
Been
Been a
like
couple
2
weeks.
or 3, yeah.
It's been like couple weeks. So yeah, I forgot it's been longer than a week. Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, knock on her door.
You hear a knock back. You know the knock.
Secret knock.
I'm assuming you do the
Yeah.
appropriate thing.
Yes.
Yep. Door opens.
Yeah. And is it the person?
Octavia. Yeah, it is.
Let's pronounce her name. I want to hear it.
Put me on the spot. Go right ahead. Give me a second. As I pull up the name.
I want to
in
hear
before
her.
and like listen.
Because I have an idea of how I want to pronounce it.
Are we going with a silent I here? Because
No.
okay, Safiel.
Yes.
That's how I. Hey, look at
Wonderful.
that. Safiel.
Plus the crowd goes wild. Safiel. Yes.
Hey. Give myself a pat on the back. I actually got one. Yes, that is Safiel. Yeah.
So, God, I almost said about my world. Octaya is gonna open her arms for a hug. Because it's been a while since they've seen
Yeah,
each other.
she has definitely gives you a hug.
Mhm.
It's good to see you, Octaya. Are you staying for a few days or just passing by?
Planning on staying, actually.
Would you like something to drink while you're here?
Sure.
Some tea?
But
Perfect.
we have some important matters to discuss over tea.
Ah, I see. Please come in. Actually have tea. I have tea heating right now. Please.
I'd walk in and probably go to a sitting room of some sort.
Yeah. She would be joining you with 2 cups, one for you, one for her.
Okay.
So, how are you? How have you been?
Good. Still working on, no. Still working on avenging Ivor.
Still working on what? Sorry?
Still working on avenging Ivor.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Kind of hit all of us hard.
Sudden.
Well, it just got to certain places, shall we say. It's she was she was like family around here.
It was her daughter.
Right, I understand. No, I'm saying like,
Okay.
in terms of I'm talking like family. She is like family to. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Wait.
Wait.
You're saying that. Wait. Are you declaring that this person is indeed family? Because I did not catch that.
It's
Okay.
literally Ivor's
Okay.
sister, not Ivor.
Okay,
Ivor's mother, who is Octaya's sister.
Okay.
But it's not
Okay.
a blood sister, it's an oath sister.
I misunderstood your statement. I'm sorry. Okay. I did not catch that.
I'm sorry, that's the funniest.
I did not catch it. Okay. All right.
Good work, team. Alright. Yes.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
For the record, she's a high elf. That's why they're not blood sisters.
That's perfectly fine.
They're oath sisters. It's a long story. I have it
Yeah,
typed up
yep.
somewhere. We went through this. Moving on from that.
Yes.
Out of the way.
This is also a last-minute curveball you've thrown at me, so be aware that I am focused on this side of it. So I'm kind of fitting this in. So go ahead.
That's why I told you before this session.
Yeah, and I'm
Wait,
focused.
hold on.
It's fine. Just go on. Go on.
Okay,
Go on. It's fine.
So, Octavia will pat her shoulder and they'll sit in a moment of silence. Whatever. Cool. Moving on. Not to dwell on dead characters. And Octavia will say, "Remember how you used to be my representative when it came to scrapes at the wall when I was younger?"
Yeah. What about it? Are you in trouble?
No, but friend is. Big trouble. Instant
How big?
execution trouble.
Trees in trouble.
Yes.
I need details.
She can't give me any because she doesn't remember. Or she's lying and not telling me. It's one of the two.
Do you know if her? Do you know if? This is tricky without knowing all of the details.
I agree.
Do you suspect any foul play in her not remembering?
I don't see how else a high elf would lose their memory, especially when they're but a child.
This is fair.
It's either foul play or the gods.
Do you believe in this person?
Yes.
Do you believe that they're innocent?
Yes.
So then let's assume that they are innocent. Let's assume for the moment that foul play is is involved. Would a magic be involved?
Almost certainly. I don't
Because
know
the only two things I can think of that would cause someone of our ilk, and she points to her as kind of to herself as she's saying that.
High elf,
Someone of our ilk to not be able to remember in those sort of situations would be magic
Mm-hmm.
or blackmail.
Mm-hmm. So unless we find out someone has blackmailed her,
Then
we
it would
find the
likely be
person who
magic.
cast the spell.
Very possibly.
And why?
That assumes that it is a person. It could be an object. It could be something else. I don't know. Without knowing the source of the concern,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be very difficult to attack the concern head on.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you're trying to protect your friend, you should be focusing all your resources on where it began, why it began.
Mm-hmm.
The truth will only be set free once you discover that one important truth.
Mm-hmm. So I need to go back and talk to her about the night that she was exiled.
If foul play is involved and she is magically prevented from discussing this,
Mm-hmm.
that may prove fruitless.
Right.
I would say that perhaps waiting until the end of the first trial phase, when the opposition begins to discuss
their evidence, and then we can go off of that evidence.
I would say that might be your best play, especially considering you're flying blind right now
Mm-hmm.
into the trial. Find the one thread that you can put your fingers on and tug with all your might.
Mm.
Let them make the mistake and keep tugging until their entire web becomes unraveled
Mm-hmm.
and it falls upon them.
Okay. All right. And then, would you be willing to host me while I'm here for this trial?
Are you,
As
when you're saying
guest.
host?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. However, with matters of treason, they typically like to do things in a more streamlined manner. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need a place to stay in the meantime, or if you need a place to stay afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
you know my home is open to you.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry I can't be more help, but I do hope that your friend, if she is innocent,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you're able to help save her.
Mm-hmm. And then Artai will have one final question for her sister, and it'll be: did you ever hear anything about a child named Mira?
That name does not sound familiar to me.
Okay.
There are many. As I will roll behind the screen. Excuse me, just one moment.
Not like this would have been on Elf CNN. Let's go.
just barely passes. Just barely. Huh. Now that you mention it, what was her name again? Nira?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Nira. The exiled high elf.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no.
And suddenly her face just goes from like, nice. It's like, oh boy,
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about that?
And her face gets a very serious look.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say this and you didn't hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is not exactly wanted around these parts, if you catch my drift.
Right.
Speaking her name usually gets the attention of certain unwanted elements.
And who would those elements be?
Well, if she's being tried for treason right now, I think you would know exactly who those elements are.
The plaintiffs?
Maybe not the plaintiffs, but the ones behind them.
Council?
Don't know. It's possible. But if I were you, if what you say is true, you're sticking your neck out for the most wanted person in Vedwi Estelle. At this particular, if she's back in Vedwi Estelle, you were effectively defending the most wanted person in the last 200 years in Vedwi Estelle.
Oh boy.
And
Go ahead.
I would highly advise that you tread carefully. That's not to say that I don't trust your judgment in this. That's not to say that I don't trust that you believe that she will be found innocent. I'm saying that you're dealing with evidence beyond, or you're dealing with
Powers
that rival some of ours.
And by ours, she means the hand.
She means yes.
Uh-huh.
You're walking right into a snake's den.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to aim for the head if you strike.
Memes. Sorry. And then final question for her before she leaves to go back to Rossi / Nira. Hate have no one open. Would it interest the hand to know that there are forces from Rem working inside the city?
Forces of Rim working within the
Slightly
city.
spell Wem, sorry.
I'm not aware of this. There are Rim forces in the city?
Yes. Not an army.
That's news to
But
me.
One elf on the High Council has been turned.
Who told you this information?
Who did tell us that? Wait, out of character. Who did tell us that?
Marasi.
Girl,
That's
it's on
not
trial.
Yeah. Okay, so Marasi, yeah, okay.
Did I mention that? Just the girl that's on trial. And then say, maybe the hand could look into that. See if she's on the truth.
You believe that an elf is working for Rim?
Maybe. I think it's a possibility.
I think that is
things are going.
I think that is an unlikelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Rim would like nothing more than to destroy all elves permanently, or enslave them. Take your pick.
Maybe this elf wants to destroy all elves as well, so you gain power.
That also seems very unlikely.
Listen,
A possibility, but an unlikeliness.
Would you just have the hand look into it?
I'll see what I come up with, but if this is the angle, I'm just warning you, if this is what you're looking at, I doubt you're going to get anything useful out
No,
of
I
us
know.
looking at it. But
I
I'll
know,
see
but
what I can
just-
find.
Do it for my peace of mind.
Of course, I will.
Okay. And with that, she will say her farewells. And wander back to where Marasi is.
Oh, Octaya, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
if I find anything, don't come to me. I will come to you.
Okay. Well, we shall see what happens then.
She nods, takes the last sip of her tea. Be careful in there.
Hold on, wait, I have to think of something.
Mhm.
What's a good analogy, like a pagan analogy of Daniel in the lion's den? Naura.
I'm thinking Hercules in his cradle.
No. Yeah, well, no.
Mildly.
Just as the thread guided Theseus out of the maze,
That's a good one, yeah.
so too will the truth lead me out of this den of vipers.
Okay. There you go.
Theseus
Tying
exists in
it.
this universe now.
Tying it in a nice bow, yeah. Okay.
With thread.
With thread.
Okay.
And moving on now to Naura and Wimtoss, who are having a grand old time shopping for a summer home.
Yeah.
We settled on a
Ash or
2-bedroom,
Birch?
1-bath Ash.
Only one
Yeah.
bathroom? God, y'all think so small. Think bigger.
Not.
I mean, it's a summer home. I mean,
It's
we're not
not-
going to be staying there too often.
Oh,
No,
okay,
we're
okay.
just gonna be in there for a couple hours, just to sleep maybe. Mornings might be hell though, but
Got a nice view.
Yeah, wonderful view of trees
and more trees.
and elves.
Hey, look, that's a nice looking tree right
There are a couple
over there.
gnomes there around.
No, okay, but seriously, what are we doing?
We've been kind of discussing how we can assist in the trial in any way. Yes, your facepalm has been noted.
You don't.
We
know
don't
about the
know
trials
anything
yet.
that's going on, but we do know that whoever the traitor is, excuse me, could potentially have information in their home. We know it's Valdir knows that Marasi said it's someone probably high up.
So the plan is to check out the hike.
Yeah, the high up part of it would be a fairly like if that thread is true, then that would be a safe assumption. And when we're talking about high up, we're talking about elder or successor level.
Okay. So currently, the plan... Well, do you want to put it out there, Wimtoss? Because it's
Yeah.
going to sound less crazy coming from you.
Yeah, so the plan is going to try and sneak into the house of one of the elders and look for evidence, letters, things of that nature. But before we do, the plan is to...
The problem is you don't know
Uh.
about the trial yet. Like everything sounds fine. You don't know the trial yet. You don't know it exists. You don't know that Marasi's been arrested. You don't know that all that stuff has happened. Your characters are currently clueless on this. Also,
That's a good point.
King Sonya, break into all the homes until we find the right home.
That
And
is a
that's
good
actually-
plan.
How will we know it's the right home?
And then along the way,
Yes.
maybe listen. If there's a few coins lying around, maybe a nice knick-knack or
Technically, Petrie
Bobble.
never said. Petrie never said we couldn't rob the elves. Just that we couldn't.
twisting her words. Are you sure you're not a bard, King Sonya? Are you sure?
I have pride.
Oh, okay.
So,
Also, you were also
We just weren't
also
supposed to kill him.
also are you attorney at law again?
Nonsense. That's Miles' thing.
Okay.
It's our quiet now.
Octaya attorney at law. The law firm of Octaya. So now we're going into round 2 of law firm. Oh boy!
But no,
what
you
could
do have a
possibly go
point
wrong?
with the. You do have a point with.
Okay, hopefully this time it doesn't end up like 4.
God, please.
So basically, what you're saying here is I should put the feeble mind aside and wait to see what the party does. Maybe the party will do it for me.
Pretty much.
Okay, got it. But seriously,
Well, since we don't know that the trial's going on, Wimtoss, how about we just continue shopping for a summer home until we get a message from one of the party or something? Say that we go around.
That'd be the best.
Yeah. Say we go around the big tree that we saw the others heading to. See if we get a message in.
okay. So you're heading back to where the rest of the party is?
Yeah.
Okay. As actually, I'm gonna say the two of you meet with Octaya, who's heading back as well. The two of you meet fairly close to the entrance of the Elder Tree.
Well, although
Valdir's just gonna kind of nod a little bit. He's currently
Hello.
looking
What's
very
going on?
much like a good wood elf.
sounds fake.
22 on his
Why,
last.
hello there.
Oh, go ahead.
Have you met my...
Fuck.
Oh, our mute friend here and I were just walking around. We just happened to see you. Our mute friend. So,
Wait,
the rest
of the
Algier
party?
is good boy? I don't believe this.
Go on.
10 out of 10. Akaya doesn't really have a response other than we need to get in to see Nira. Akaya is gonna revert to calling her Aussie Nira, by the way.
Okay. All right. So at this point, the three of you are led back into the the holding chamber as well, in which there is, at which point the door opens to the chamber, and those of you who are in there see Octaya, Valdir, and Wimtoss entering the room. Everybody is now back together. The door locks behind the three of you, both physically and magically.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody is together.
Well, it could be nastier.
That was whispered and
That's right.
only
Sorry.
to the other two.
Alright, now we have everyone here. We're at a major disadvantage in this. We lack information, we lack evidence.
We don't need evidence, we just need what they're throwing at us.
That'd be your best bet, play defensive.
I would ask that that you would represent me, Octaya.
Of course, I thought it was assumed.
I thought so too, but it's better to ask.
Better to ask for giving us them permission.
Very well. And Wimtoss, can you tell the people, the council that I'm a good elf, I'm a nice elf. Wouldn't have done these things I've said that I've done, so I didn't. I mean, the only evidence that I know of what happened is that they said it happened.
Mm-hmm. You don't think that's enough?
No, I don't. Because it
Are
seems
you sure
very out
that's
of
not
character
enough?
for myself.
It's enough for them if they have the right people on that jury.
Well,
If there even is a jury in this case.
You would know that there is not a jury. The one who is, I'm stopping the timer by explaining this. The one that would be presiding and ruling would be the one successor that was named
Mhm.
as the judge of this trial. So,
Okay.
Yeah, you would know, because he is considered in this situation to be the most impartial of all of them, due to the fact that he could lose the most by a incorrect verdict being rendered. Timer resumes.
Do you have anything for your defense other than your character?
Well, considering that, I mean, I know that I would have been in the library at one point or another, and I do remember like being in the library in general. I don't remember going in the restricted section though. They told me I was there, and I wouldn't have stolen anything. That's why would I steal something if I was in school for that? I would have waited, would have had time to get to whatever level it was that needed to. There's no reason for this. It makes no sense.
Okay. Well, we'll wait and see what evidence they bring forth. And
30
we'll
seconds.
have to go from there. I think that's our best option if you disagree.
Sadly, I can't do much to help. I don't know the laws here,
shouldn't
nor
do
am I
much to
now.
help. You might make this worse rather than better.
I am hurt and offended.
Based on who your people are.
And people wouldn't factor into
You
it.
hear a knock on the door immediately as Kojiro's speaking. It's time.
Alright. Let's go.
Before
For the
before
best.
anyone exits the room, the door opens and a guard with another scroll in his hand. Marasi, I need a intelligence save, please. Upon
No.
the door opening.
No.
Your
I
mouth is once again bound.
Super bad at all this.
That's okay. That's actually a good thing to have happen to you right there. That's a good thing. I still have to make you pass the saving throw, or pass or fail it. So,
Can I decide
You
to
can take one
autofill
if you-
those in general?
yeah, you can, but I have to give you
Okay.
the option. I have to give you the option. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So, an incantation is read, and Marasi is unable to speak. She can still hear, though. She can hear. She can interact. She can do anything, but she can't. Well, she's still chained, but anything
You know.
involved, yeah, she can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she can see. She can hear. All that stuff's still good. Okay. So, have you chosen your representative?
Octavio.
It's yours.
Please,
okay.
please look at the person that you were declaring as your representative. Gestures Octaya, perfect.
Yep,
May
Octavio.
I have your name for the court record, please? Looks at you, Octaya.
Oh, I don't think I have a last name. Do I need a last name?
You can do it however you want. It doesn't matter.
Just Octaya then. Octaya
Okay.
of...
And you can do Octaya and whatever your hometown is, you can do that, and that's perfectly fine.
Can I do Octaya DeFay?
That's fine. If that's what you want, if that's what you want your last name to be, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna
Great.
type that in now.
That's okay. Octaya DeFay. Very good. Then in that case, Octaya, you and Nira will be seated at the defendant's bench. Everyone else, I would ask that you be seated in the audience area. Unless any of you are being named as a second to Octaya DeFay. That's pointed at you, Octaya.
She will look at Nira and see if Nira wants anyone else. It's up to Nira. That's not Octaya's decision there,
Okay.
in my mind.
Okay,
Voldir
that's fine.
lightly boots Wimtoss forward.
You know I'm not in agreement to fault. Wimtoss being voluntold, basically. Not to Wimtoss. Perfect. So Wimtoss, are you acknowledging to being second counsel? Continues.
Sure.
Okay. State your name for the record, please.
Wintoss.
Wimtoss.
Oh, last name.
With one S or two.
Tass.
By the way, he is now speaking in Gnomish to you directly. Yeah, two. Excellent.
I
right.
was speaking in Elvish.
Elvish, perfect. Yes, the response in Elvish is perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, right. Now resuming to speak. Now speaking in Elvish. This way, please. All that was in Elvish except for the speech to Wimtoss, which was in Gnomish. Now it's back in Elvish. So, just FYI. Right.
Okay.
With me? And the guards, then two of the guards have Marassi's chain on each side, but allowing Marassi to walk on her own volition. The other two guards are escorting and directing you in the direction with one guard leading the way. Taking you back to the meeting area that you entered the Elder Tree at, which surprisingly has absolutely no other people in there at this time. It is a completely empty room.
Artai is going to be very quiet throughout all of this.
Okay.
Just note.
Yep, you have been the head guard, or at least the one that seems to be in charge of this proceeding. Points over to the defendant's desk, which is the closer desk to where you entered. It is a table that can seat four people facing the where the elders were sitting before. Up to four, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
By tradition, Octaya, you would know that the way that the appropriate seating for said trials is to have the accused seated at the rightmost chair, with the head representative sitting directly to her left and going down the roster from there.
Okay. And she will indicate that to Nira and to Wimtoss.
Nira would also know this.
Okay, well, she'll indicate to Wimtoss then.
Wimtoss would not know this. Yeah, Wimtoss does now. Okay, and everybody else is directed towards what appear to be benches and whatnot, made of very, very nice wood, by the way. These are almost
Mahogany.
as if... Oh, totally mahogany. Polished up, shined up real good, too.
My goodness.
They take good care of these benches, okay?
That is...
Obvious.
I have to flip it now. No.
And they don't
Not
use the
yet.
cheap polish either. They don't use the cheap polish. They use the
They
good
use
shit.
lemon pledge. They use orange pledge.
Anyway, right, so, as everybody has a seat, about a couple minutes pass, at which time more guards appear from the right, what appear to be a door on the right side, and several people come out of that door. The one leading them out the door... Give me just one moment as I pull up my notes. The one leading them out the door is the one you would have seen, is the high elf that you would have seen amongst the elders. The one sitting in the middle. Ryla. Or excuse me, Ralia. I'll type that out.
Really?
Hang on. Let me
It's
type it out.
Pad.
That one.
Stop it.
Get your Cthulhu out of here. That's madness job.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Guys.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
It's rather not.
Suddenly, the
Never
entire
sorry.
proceedings are interrupted by tentacles. Tentacles everywhere.
Kinky.
Magnus!
All right, let's get back to business, guys.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
A few more minutes pass. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Petrie.
And a few more minutes pass.
That's okay. Yeah, a few more minutes pass. The rest of the elders take their chairs.
Mhm.
The middle chair is left empty. At which point, the wood elf that was seated to the left of center stands up. Based on tradition, this court proceeding, this session will proceed not with Ralia as the judge of this proceeding. Serving as judge, as nominated by all four of the council, Helema will serve as our judge. And at that moment, Helema enters the council area. In a very, very traditional robe. When I say traditional, I mean a bright green cloak, very well made. Very, very well made. Seems to be something that has been passed down from generations type of cloak. So it's been worn a few times, but it's not worn in terms of like it looks worn. It's like this cloak is nice.
Yeah.
Good quality, good shit. It's something that gets handed down between, say, High Council to successor type of thing.
Right.
Anyway, Helema takes a seat in the middle. Before we begin, I need to take care of a few. We needed to take care of a few pieces of business. Number one, I would like to apologize in advance to all members of today's proceedings, as this is my first time sitting in this seat. Ancestors, I hope I do you proud here today and render a verdict that is worthy of our people. Second, and he looks in your direction, Kojiro.
Oh, it's not a woman. Oh, okay.
Oh, lovely.
Whoopsies.
I'm sorry, Helema. I'm sorry, Helema is female. I'm sorry, yeah, Helema,
Okay.
female. Yes,
I was
she
like, oh.
looks at Helema does look in your Helema, female. I'm sorry. I got so many things running through my mind right now. Bear with me.
I just.
Helema looks in Kojiro's direction. I want to apologize to you for what happened earlier. I had a word with the one that struck you in the back of the head, and we had a fairly long conversation about what happened. You were not presenting a threat. But I did not believe that these words should come from me. I believe that the guard himself should address you directly. And she gives a stern look over to that guard, as if "do it now" is coming out of her eyeballs. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Kojiro understands that look. He's given it several times.
That's a look you do not want to be on the receiving end of.
He's been on both.
He steps up in front of, so like the elder's bench is kind of raised above where everybody else is. He stands directly in front of the middle chair and turns towards Kojiro. I apologize for acting hastily in this manner. I did not recognize you at first, and I have seen you on the front lines. While your presence is greatly disturbing to most people within Vedwi Estelle, you are also no enemy of the people. I know that you fought, not necessarily in our name, but for our cause on several occasions, and I should have at least given you the respect of understanding your purpose before acting, and for that I apologize. And he bows in your general direction.
There's no need to bow. If you're one of my men, I would have had a stern talk to you as well. What you did is understandable. You have nothing to apologize for.
At which point, Helema begins to speak again. In that case, Kojiro has, as your judge, has rendered you innocent, or at least not guilty of poor judgment, at least not poor enough judgment to be further reprimanded. I consider this time served, and you return to your post. The guard says nothing, but clutches his spear tightly, kind of in a not in an anger sort of way, but in a, oh boy, I got away with one here kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kojiro was
And
hoping to help him get away with it because he understands.
And just silently returns to his post, kind of head hanging in shame, kind of, you know, he has been humbled.
Yeah.
And with that, we can begin the trial in earnest. Before we begin the trial, though, I want to make sure that both sides understand the proceedings of this trial. Prosecution headed by Ralia, do you understand the process of this trial? Ralia responds, yes. I'm ready to begin. Helema turns towards Octaya, seated in the lead representative seat.
Mm-hmm.
As I understand, your name is Octaya, is that correct?
Yes.
Octaya, do you understand how the trial will work?
Yes.
Very well. Then for those seated outside of the trial area, allow me to explain how this will work. We will have a multi-phase trial in which all of the participants will lay out their timeline for the things that have happened. The charges will be laid bare, and each side will be able to present their list of evidence to the court directly. They will not be presented directly. They will not be presented directly to the other side until such time as both sides are satisfied with their list of evidence. At which time, both lists will be presented to both representatives. At which time, you will be able to state your case after a short recess. You will have all the time that you need to prepare for said trial, or for the second phase of the trial. The second phase of the trial, of course, will be the time in which evidence is presented, in which will either prove or disprove what has transpired. In the third and final phase, the accused will be given an opportunity to speak on her own behalf if she so chooses. And Helema is looking directly at you, Marasi. Anything that you say in your defense can be used in your favor and can also be used against you. There are only two rules. Number one, neither side is to directly accuse the other of lying, nor are you allowed to directly accuse any witness of lying. Number two, there is to be no magic or violence in this courtroom. Failure to adhere to these rules, it is an automatic admission of guilt, or in the prosecution's case would be an automatic admission of innocence, at which case the trial will be immediately dismissed and awarded to the other side. Are these terms acceptable for both sides? Octaya, that's to you as well.
Yes.
Ralia nods as well. Great. Helema rolls up the scroll that she was reading from, puts it aside. Let us begin then. Ralia, as the accuser, you have the floor first. State your case. Ralia begins to walk towards the middle of the room, walking very slowly with a staff in hand, and turns towards the prosecution directly. Vedwi Estelle and the High Council accuses Nira of three charges, or accuses Nira of three things. Number one, we hereby accuse Nira of stealing an ancient and powerful magic that could bring doom to the people of Vedwiestel and all the Elven lands, and perhaps even greater than just the Elven lands. Number 2, we accuse Nira of stealing that spell and that magic, leaving the Elven lands with it. This charge, however, was unbeknownst to us at the time of the original charge. Ralia turns towards Helema. To confirm, that charge has been amended in our charges. Is this correct? Helema nods back at Ralia. Yes, this charge has been officially amended as stated at the date you noted, after the exile of Nira. This charge was amended 2 days after the exile of Nira. Is this correct? Ralia nods in agreement. Yes, 2 days after the exile of Nira. The third charge, well, the third charge should be obvious. Nira stands before you, breaking her exile defiantly. Her very presence here is proof of her guilt. Allow me to present the timeline in which these events happened. Nira, at the time she was attending the Mages College here in Vedwiestel, she was not exactly a great student. She was a very below average student. Not great at magic, not great at, well, much of anything. She was a very poor student and barely passing her courses. She thought to, yes, protest mutely, as you should. As you should. To further and illegally assist in her studies, she would use the library in hours in which it was not open to public use. Furthermore, not only did she use said library at hours that were not available to public use, she also accessed an off-limits portion of the Grand Library. Granted, the Grand Library is open to students during the hours in which it is open, but not at other hours. During the hours in which they were not open, she accessed a forbidden portion of the library in which we store more experimental magics and also magics that are deemed of great danger to society. These magics are kept hidden and away from public view for good reason. It is known that the High Elf Nira was in that library, reading from a book of great and powerful and very dangerous magic. Upon catching her, she was immediately, what's the word I'm looking for? Not arrested, but detained. That's the word I'm looking for. Detained. Immediately detained, for questioning. She was kept detained for a day. At which point, after further note, after full testimony from Nira, she was brought before the court and found guilty of reading of dangerous magics, and was exiled immediately from the lands. At which point Helema pipes up. I don't recall this being a part of court records. Where is this court record? You need to present this immediately if you're going to make that statement. Ralia responds, Yes, that was not a public trial. If you look in the notes right there, and he kind of just points at one specific set of papers, that one right there. Helema looks through the paperwork. Perhaps you should rephrase your statement. I do not believe this is a trial per se. This is a
Sentencing. That's
this
out of
is
character.
no. Actually, that's not quite where I was going with this.
Really? Okay.
This is paperwork for. This is paperwork for.
Execution.
You've charged her with treason already. Why is she being brought back forth with treason charges again? The reason I say that is because of the second charge. The amended charge, in which she took that book out of our lands upon exile. Somehow she was able to hide that book from our presence. I do not know how, but she was able to do so. In fact, she still has that book on her now.
It's the jam.
I hereby present my evidence to the court. And she hands a list of, and yes, this mage is also she hands a list of a 2-page list to Helema. Helema, we all know what's going to happen here. We already know she's been accused of, and yes, granted, it was a private trial then just as it is now, and you know that these trials are not always made public for the safety and well-being of our people. You understand that this will be one of those trials. You also understand that as she's been found guilty once before, I highly suspect that we will find her guilty again, and this time, we will fix that problem permanently, especially since she has the book on her person as we speak. And Ralia's giving kind of a very annoyed, angry look in Marasi's direction.
Mm-hmm.
Ralia then walks back to her desk, takes a few papers, takes a few parchments, kind of sorts them on her table, and sits down. The floor now belongs to the defense. For whatever it's worth. Helema speaks up at this point. Octaya de Fey, the floor is now yours.
Octaya will nod her head and say thank you as she stands up.
Helema nods back in your direction.
And she will ask, what was the title of the book that she's accused of stealing?
That has not been named as of yet. You would. Oh, okay, yeah. So that does need to be named in that. So the name of the book that has been. Okay, so actually the book has no title.
Okay.
The book would be described as a. How should I put this? The book shall be described. Hang on a second. Let me confirm something real quick.
Okay. Just thought I'd pull that up, you know.
That's it, correct, Petrie? Okay. since Esper's not here, can't do Esper. But Kojiro and Wemtos
Yes.
and Magnus. Okay, so there's 4 people. Okay, so there's 2 people who are currently here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they. It doesn't matter if about the contents of it. It just matters if they've seen it. That's the important part. That's the important part. Yeah. Oh, everybody was seeing it. Perfect. That's an interesting description. A description of a book that Marasi actually currently owns and does have on her person.
Hmm.
It would be the book that she picked up from the wizard whose sheet I had to rip up on turn 0, you bastards.
Don't feel bad.
That's okay.
Vitae takes a distant bow.
Yes.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, Octaya should be taking
Yes.
a deeper bow on that one.
Wasn't that Laurel?
Huh? What?
No, it was
No, it was
Octavia.
Octavia. It was Octavia, 'cause it was
Octaya set up the stealth, basically.
You're right, you're right.
That set the whole thing up.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, that book.
So Octavia would present evidence that it was not Marasi's care. This is out of character. Would present evidence that it was not Marasi's care when she was exiled. It had to be taken.
Okay, so you're presenting an argument in which the allegation of Marasi stealing the book is incorrect because of the fact that it was found by Marasi in Rim. Is that correct?
Remember,
In Row.
In
excuse me,
Row.
in Row. Yeah.
In row.
So that is the opening statement that you will make. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else that will be going behind that, or just that?
And that Nira could have been used as a pawn, as she has no memory of it. And therefore, magical testing needs to be done on her memory to see if something was hidden from her mind's eye. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Okay.
Okay. Very well. Do you have a list of evidence to present at this time, Octaya DeFay?
What I just said.
I'm sorry?
Do I have to say what I just said again?
No. What I'm saying is a physical list. Do you have a physical list?
I didn't write it.
That's okay. No, you don't have to write it. I am simply saying, are you going to be presenting a physical list beyond those 2 items?
Character witnesses.
Character witnesses, okay. And any physical evidence?
Marasi herself.
Marasi, you would know that Marasi herself would testify in the 3rd phase of the trial. If she so chose.
Right, but her mind and her memory would be a physical piece of evidence, wouldn't it?
Aha! There we go. Okay, now we're talking. Okay.
Didn't I just say this?
I just wanted to make sure how you were presenting it. That's important.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Just
Okay. So her memory itself, not Marasi, but her memory itself is what you're
Yes.
presenting as evidence.
Yes,
There we go.
The magical inspection of her memory that will have to be done by a high-ranking mage.
There we go. Okay. So we have that. We have character witnesses, correct?
I just want to make
Mhm.
sure. Are you mentioning at all that she has the book right now?
That's been mentioned.
We will,
Oh, yeah,
because they presented it as evidence, and also she does have it, but not because she took it from here. She took it from somewhere
Okay.
in row. So
Yeah, the basis of the argument that you're presenting is she never had it when she left.
or
She only
doesn't remember
acquired it
having
after. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So basically, you're trying to disprove the timeline here.
Correct.
Yeah. That the new charges are a lie. Yeah. Okay. Great.
And that the original charges may have been a lie as well, based on she could have been under a magical influence that would not be her fault.
DM's going to make a statement right now. OOC, be very careful using the word lie. Remember, that is against the rules of the
Right,
trial.
no, it's not lie, it's
Truth.
misrepresented. Based on incomplete evidence.
Ralia stands up immediately. Are you calling me a liar?
No, ma'am. I'm simply stating that you did not have the full truth. But that's
Good,
the point
because
of
it
this
would
trial.
be a shame if you were calling me a liar.
The point of this trial is to uncover the full truth.
I would say that this truth is already self-evident, but we will humor, of course, all those involved.
Fair trial and all that.
Our evidence is presented. At this time, do you present your evidence list?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Helena,
I got everything. Wait. Pause.
Okay.
Anyone? Oh, see. Anyone think I missed something?
No, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
We cannot help you in any way.
Okay.
OOC. Oh, okay. So Helena reads over the list. Okay. I understand your list. I understand your argument. I understand both arguments. And magically, she takes the information, transfers it over from one to another. Very quick process. It's like a magic copying machine. Except there's no ink. It's magic. Just because I want to move this along.
Okay.
She hands a copy to each, which will present both lists. Both the list you've presented and the list of the other side.
Hmm.
Both sides now have the information presented in the opening phase. Both sides must now retire to their chambers and begin planning for phase 2, in which we present the evidence for consideration. At which point, Ralia stands up. Your Honor, in this case, considering that we are nearly at the doorstep of war, I would ask to expedite this trial on the grounds of the defense of its people. I would ask that the prep phase be limited to no more than 1 hour.
I would object to that.
Helena turns towards Octaya. State your reason for objection.
I don't feel that this matter represents state security. I believe that if a war were to happen, and it shouldn't, in my opinion, I believe that this trial could be put on hold until the war has been decided or ended.
Based on the facts that are currently in the court's possession, the defense has not proven as of yet that this case has not proven in this case that the prosecution has not proven that the two are linked as of yet. They have proven, however, that a trial should take place. At which point, if the defense is able to prove during the course of this trial that the two are linked, additional time would be allowed for this to happen. Until then, the objection is overruled.
Very well.
Both sides, I side with the prosecution in this case. In this statement.
Instance.
No. Hang on. 1 hour will be afforded to both sides to prepare your case.
All right.
This court is now adjourned for now.
Sweet.
Oh, buddy.
At which point, Marasi and the rest of the party is led back to the holding
Actually,
chambers.
do I have to be led there? And I have a different option.
Okay, I'll hear it out. Kojiro?
I wish to speak to our oh so lovely guard captain lady. If at all possible.
Okay, so hold that thought just a second. Is anybody else doing anything other than heading back to where Marasi is?
Not
Before we go.
quite yet.
Before we go, can I request that a mage with an understanding of memory spells specifically come with us to the prep room?
That would be granted and would be expedited for you.
Awesome.
One would not be immediately available, but one would be made available as soon as possible.
Got it. That's all I'm asking for.
Perfect. Yes, you would get that.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Can party members who are obviously not elves walk outside the building? Tree building?
No, not currently.
I still really want to know more about that library and the layout of the entire thing.
Okay. So not currently. I'm not saying no, but not currently.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Kojiro, we'll get to you in just a few minutes. Let me start with the main group for right now.
All right.
As everybody else is led back into the holding area, same kind of thing happens, and the head guard that's back there again reads a scroll. During the next phase of the trial, this is very similar to the way that, and would be looking at the humans of the group. Some of you humans would hold your court proceedings. The prosecution will introduce their evidence first, at which point the defense will have a chance to cross-examine any witness, both physical and living. At which time, once the prosecution has completed their duties, the defense will be able to commence their duties, presenting their evidence, both physical and living. At the conclusion of this portion of the trial, both sides will have a chance to amend their list of, or add to their list of witnesses, both physical and living, based on the information presented in this phase of the trial. After that is done, no further evidence can be presented. Do you understand how this works? First, looking at Marasi. Next, looking at Marasi. You've not been you have not been sealed just yet.
Oh, then yes.
Or excuse me.
I'm
sorry.
still sealed.
You've been unsealed.
Oh, I have.
You're
Nice,
unsealed.
cool.
You're unsealed. Yeah, you're unsealed.
I'll still nod.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. The guard nods back, rolls up his scroll. You have exactly 1 hour. The guard walks out, closes the door, locks behind you, both physically and magically. Kojiro, we'll get to the rest of y'all here in just a moment. Kojiro, let's jump back to you for just a moment. What are we doing?
I would try to approach. What was her name? So many names right now.
Helema?
Yes, Helema.
Okay.
I would try to approach Helema, see if she would speak with me.
You would be blocked by 2 guards. She is still walking out, but still visibly seen.
Yeah. I
You'd be
wish to
blocked
speak
from
with
approaching.
Helema. That is all.
Helema would, from where she's walking. Is this in regards to the guard that acted out of turn, or in regards to the trial?
It is in regards to neither.
In regards to what then?
I came here not for a trial, not to decide the innocence of one, but the peace and safety of many. I'm a protector of elves. If I can, I'd like to avoid war with my homeland. That is why I'm here.
I cannot speak in regards to the trial. I cannot speak in regards to anything other than this. I too would prefer to avoid war. But if Rem is looking to invade us, we are going to defend ourselves with all of the might of our...
What if I could tell you they're not looking to invade, but antagonize?
I would say that this is not something that I can speak of right at this moment, but this would be something to speak of after the trial.
But would I be allowed at the vote?
I can bring this up. I can bring this up with the elders. It is unfortunately not my decision to make, but I can at least
Let them
bring
know
up
I
your
have information
request.
they need to be heard.
I would, at the very least, put in your request to the elders. They will hear me on that. Beyond that, it is beyond my control.
I guess that's the best I can hope for.
I can also promise you that at the time that I bring it up, that you would be allowed to be present at that moment with their
Thank you.
official response. Will that suffice?
That will suffice. Thank you for all your work.
She nods. I do have one question of you.
I may very well have an answer.
I do not ask you to betray your people, as you would never ask me to betray mine.
Yes.
If they were to invade, how would they do so?
If they were to invade, they'd already be doing so, in my opinion. As
I'm
I'm
ask-
led to believe there's a blockade, correct?
You know of the blockade.
Only heard of it, I have not seen it. As for why that matter is, if they were to invade you, it wouldn't be by one of the feudal lords, it'd be one of my brothers. And they wouldn't simply put up a blockade and wait. Kanji would already be oppressing you, looking to cut you off from any resources and food. He'd do so quickly before you could react. Sho would aim to corner you, force you into combat. He wouldn't force you to antagonize or strike first. Nagai, he would attempt to, what would they say further west? Scorched earth?
So you believe we are being manipulated by outside forces?
I believe Marasi, what she says is true.
Before you state anything further, please note that nothing in regards to the case can be brought up here. Anything involving Nira cannot be discussed.
True. I'm of the belief there is a traitor. That traitor serves one of the feudal lords of Rem. A feudal lord.
You believe there's a rogue
hosts-
agent then?
That I do. It may not be of the four elders, but one's possibly right under.
Be very careful with how you proceed with those words. I understand what you're saying, but be very careful with how you proceed with those words, for without evidence behind it,
I have no evidence yet.
then I would suggest that you find it, and quickly.
That's what I hope for.
And she then begins to walk off again towards, actually out of the elder tree. Accompanied by every single guard that was still in the chamber with her.
Alright. I head
Chamber
towards,
is now empty.
head towards the room where I believe Marasi and them are.
To your left.
Yay.
There you go. Okay. So we'll get Kojiro back in there. Kojiro enters, door locked behind you, both physically and magically. Everybody's
Did I
there.
miss anything?
Bunch of false accusations against me.
That they are. You had to ask my current opinion. Raleigh is rushing things intentionally.
Oh, you think? Really?
If he was certain of a victory, which he appears very much certain of, he wouldn't bother rushing it. He'd take his time. He's rushing it intentionally. why? That's a good question to ask.
Don't know. You may want to get back to the business at hand that was already on. Name
That's
of the
what
vote.
I was just
to go to
discussing
war.
with Helema.
A knock on the door. A knock on the door. You hear the same guards. The same guard speaking. Octai DeFay, your mage that you've requested has arrived.
Excellent, send them in.
Door unlocks. A single elven mage enters. The door is locked behind you.
History check, do I know them?
You can roll history.
Do I know them?
You can roll history.
Hey.
I probably do not.
Oof.
Marasi rolls an advantage based on background.
Okay.
16 anyway. Okay. Octaya, you would not.
Okay.
Marasi, you would actually recognize this person.
Oh, hi. Hello.
It's
Old
your best
classmate
friend.
An old classmate of yours, actually.
Oh, nice.
Two of you didn't exactly get along.
Never mind. I don't say anything to them at that point. It's a slight nod. It's like, okay, yeah, I acknowledge your existence, but that's about it.
Octaya will present why we asked them to come here and ask them to do their thing.
In that case, let's get started then. Everybody who can cast at least one spell, roll Arcana, please.
Whee. What the fuck?
Don't know. I'm
Hashtag blame
blaming
Naura.
Naura.
Look at all the tens.
Anybody who can cast at least one spell that's in the room, roll Arcana.
Yes.
Would you just look at all those tens?
Dave, Magnus, and Esper, were they here, but they're not here.
Okay, we can't roll for anybody who's not
Yep.
here. Yeah, so Marasi, you can roll.
Oh, I can't?
Yeah, because you have bard
oh,
spells.
I'm in the room. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you are in the room. You are the focus of this.
No! Get back to spot.
Kojiro, you gonna roll?
Kojiro can cast at least one spell.
Oh,
Kojiro
yeah.
can roll. Naura, you can cast a spell, right?
No.
You cannot.
Valdir is not a mage in any way, shape,
What-
form, or
What
fashion.
class is Valdir?
Fighter.
They cast sword.
Yay.
Oh yes, they are the fist mage. Yes.
No, that's the
Sword.
monks.
Monks or fistmen?
Monks.
Valdir is
How
a
dare
dex
you
fighter,
besmirch
thank you
monks.
very much. You're
Okay.
thinking of Vitae.
Yes. I still need a roll from Kojiro.
If you would pick a non-V name.
Non-V name. Yes. Yes, a non-V
And
name
it'd
will
make
help me
it-
keep.
It would. Make it a lot easier to remember.
Immediately makes a name in which the first letter is a W for two V's just to piss us off.
Nah.
His
Uh,
name is Walter. You will treat him with
10 out of 10.
I left for a
10 out of
minute.
10.
What?
Kojiro, roll Arcana, please.
Oh,
Thanks for letting us
no.
know you left.
Oh, no.
I did because you guys were what? What are you all doing?
Arcana.
Nice.
Thank you. Oh, 23. there
Holy
we
crap.
go. Very nice.
Natural 19.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Kojiro, Marasi, Wimtoss are a pass. Octaya, not quite.
Yeah.
The other three of you, you would recognize that appear to be some. Actually, hold on a second, Octaya. Do you what first? Actually, let me look at your sheet, because with that 10, if you can cast the spell, that's a pass, but only if you can cast the spell. Let's see. Let me check. Let me check. Spell sheet. No, you cannot. Okay, so that's a no.
Oof.
I had to check. Wimtoss, Marasi, Kojiro would all be able to tell that the spell that is being cast initially is an identify spell. That's just the starting point. Wimtoss, after the identify spell, your knowledge would drop off from there. A follow-up spell is cast. Detect good and evil. Only Marasi and Kojiro would recognize that spell being cast.
I am giving this person very intrigued glance.
By the way, any spells being cast are being cast directly upon Marasi. For point of reference.
Lovely.
Give me a second. Let me pull it up.
Christ. High elf as well.
Marasi, I
Yes.
need a saving throw from you.
Of what variety?
Give me a second.
Although if
I need
okay,
a wisdom saving throw.
okay. I mean, it's probably bound to be.
This is for a spell being cast against you.
I can't roll above a 2 when I'm trying to do other things with wisdom fucking save, and now it's a 16. No, I'm
do,
gonna.
do you want to take one, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 1.
Take one. Okay.
You are invisible for the next
I
turn.
am so pissed at the 16 though.
Marasi and Kojiro would both know that an attempt at detect thoughts is being made against Marasi at this time.
I will think, hi, how are you? It's been a while.
I can just sense the thought behind it.
2 big middle fingers.
Yes. And I see you've gone high in society behind it. Let's see. She's probing deeper. Do you allow her to do so?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, you take one, okay? Or attempting to, I should say.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Oops. Ah, shoot.
I'm attempting to comply.
Yes, I want to make sure I'm doing something right here.
No. Should I think so actually, yeah.
Okay. That spell stops immediately. In that case. That spell stops immediately upon attempting to further dive into her thoughts. The mage looks you up and down. What do you have? Do you have any items on you by any chance?
For my own protection, of course.
May I look at them, please?
What am I wearing? Let's see. There's the cloak I'm wearing.
Well, not non-wearing items, like items that are in your possession, just like things that you can place on the table.
Like my pack?
Yeah, and everything that's in it.
Takes pack and dump it out.
Pretty much.
Okay. There's some interesting stuff in there. Let's see. Maybe a couple musical instruments, just small things. Got a rabbit's foot in there. Got a lamp, a couple flasks of oil, a set of fine clothes, a couple bars of soap, some rations, a tinderbox, relics from a previous time, the firearm transformation something. What is the rest of this word? No wait, that's gone. The used gem ritual dagger, That's still in there.
The unused. The what?
The already used ritual dagger piece that I had to go and get from the person to stuff from before we were using this stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a little, like a
Yes.
little burnt tip of a dagger, basically. Would clatter out on the table. I am wearing my amulet. Thank you very much. A couple pieces of paper, a pair of scissors, a comb, 2 bottles of perfume, a couple hairpins, a hairbrush. Important things, mind you. It's a potion of healing, a spell scroll, and a book. That's the entire contents of my pack.
Another spell is cast at this point. Marasi and Kojiro have rolled sufficiently high enough to find out that a detect curse spell has been cast.
Ooh.
This causes the elf for the first time is casting the expression on the elf's face changes for the first time during this process. She looks at you. This is the book you've been accused of stealing?
It was... I took it from someone who had it and had died.
Regardless of the truth or whatnot, is this the book that they have accused you of stealing?
Yes.
Give me a second. Another spell is cast on this. At this point, Wimtoss, you're back in the equation again. Another identify spell has gone out against the book. Everybody in the party would see that she is trying to cast some sort of spell against the book. Also, I should switch. No, actually, we can keep that music. That's fine. Wow, you've gotten yourself in quite a mess with this.
Oh boy.
What do you mean?
Huh. If they're accusing you of stealing this, well, let's just say that, it's been nice knowing you.
I know what...
She puts her hand on the book to try to
No,
stop.
No, you're not.
She tries. She is casting more. She is still casting spells upon it.
At this point,
He's not taking it. By the way, but hang on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my concern a little bit.
No, she is not.
Okay.
She is not.
I do know
this
what
point-
this is. I am aware. However...
Closest
Oops, sorry. Go
would
ahead.
like to gently remind her that she is supposed to be here for the elf and not for the book. As this is the entire point of her being here.
This
I'll
is
ask-
fair. This
you
is
know,
fair. However,
what does
as I
book
have
do?
this is fair. However, as I have discovered, this book is cursed, and this may or may not pertain directly to the problem at hand, which is why I'm examining the book.
What's the
If it
curse
is-
on the book?
I am determining that at this time.
What are the effects of this curse?
That's what I'm determining at this time. As soon as I discover this, I will share that information with you.
You want me to just tell you? Because I know what they are.
Are you saying this is play, or are you saying this
I'm
is...
saying this is character. Because she knows. Esper told me.
That's right, he did.
He did. So I know what this book is and what it's been doing.
Go right ahead and say it.
Okay. So, to explain to you what this is a diary. But what it does is you don't write in this book. You remember into this book. And to get a memory from it, to read something from it, you have to lose something.
Remaining memories.
Correct.
Remind me to never read from that book.
Too late, you already have once.
Technically, yes.
Okay, remind me to
You
never
also-
again.
But
read
you
from that.
also nat 20'd.
Yes, I nat 20'd. So I didn't lose anything. Or anything important.
Yeah, you lucky bastard. I can't seem to roll. It takes a wisdom save to read from this book, and I have not been able to roll above. It's a 13. I can't hit it.
She's been
It is
rolling forward.
fucking impossible. Like, I haven't read anything like an out of game month. I have been trying to read something out of this book, and it's impossible.
She's got a 50-50 shot.
No, it's less than
Wait,
that.
it's just under
45%.
Yeah, 45%.
Oh
but still,
no!
Yeah, because I've got a 2 for wisdom save,
Oh
and I
no!
need a 13.
I have a 4.
But you nat 20'd, so you're
I
fine.
nat 20'd. I had a high chance of succeeding.
Yep.
You were fine. But actually, the only reason why you didn't lose a memory was because of the nat 20.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have lost something.
You'd have lost a memory.
Either
Yeah.
way.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
This is a fun book.
Oh yeah, it's a great book. I love this book, but the problem is it's a bit costly sometimes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So
that's in character. That explained the most of that. The stuff with the wisdom saves, not so much.
only 2 people would recognize this. It is Kojiro and Marasi would see a attempt at a remove curse on the book.
I will pull that away from her. She's not doing that to my book. This book is important, actually.
What's in the book?
What's in the box?
The memories
She-
of the Wizard of Ro, and of the whatchamacallit? Of the noble in Rem.
And are
Michael-
those memories and knowledge worth losing your mind and everything, even your life?
If it solves this problem, yes.
She
I would
looks at
disagree.
the mage looks at you again. I'm not looking to destroy the contents of that book. I am looking simply to either restore your memory or identify the problem associated with your memory.
That's fine then.
That is my only reason for being here. May I see the book again, please?
I will hold the book out
As
to
soon
her.
as you don't have to let go of the book. She's okay if you want to hold on to the book and
Mhm.
let her do it.
My book.
Okay. She resumes casting Remove Curse. Marasi, your compulsions are broken from the book,
Hey, nice.
but that's it.
Yeah, I know.
At this time, the female mage speaks again. So, after doing all of this, does this jog your memory at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. At this time, I need to disclose fully one piece of information. I was not solely sent in here for your own purposes. If you will check on your evidence sheet, you will see that there was a second purpose for me being in here, and that is also the same, and that is also related to why you called me in here, was to see if the book itself was affecting your memory. And I'll tell you, if you pull out your evidence list, she will point out directly on the evidence list presented by the prosecution exactly where that is.
Okay.
Now that that fact has been established, I can solely work on the portion you've called me in here for.
Okay.
At which point, she casts a different spell. I have to double check the level of the spell. Bear with me just one moment. Because there's a possibility that Marasi might not recognize this depending on how high the level is. Kojiro, I believe, will get this based on his roll. It's a clutch roll, by the way, Kojiro. Very clutch roll.
What can I say? When it comes to the ways of magic, I'm actually clutch. That's it.
Let's see if I can find it. Bear with me a second. Petrie. Hang on. Actually, no. You would recognize this spell, as would Kojiro. Give me a second. Where is that spell? Ah, there it is. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw against a suggestion spell. Do you wish to make it or take one?
I am staring daggers.
I will take a 1 as I am complying.
The suggestion that you were compelled to respond to. And there's a reason why I didn't cast Zone of Truth on this, because it's limited, and because that requires everything to be told the truth. This is more limited in focus. The suggestion spell will compel you to do the following. You are to tell me everything about your night that you were found in the library. So it's basically, she's using it as a limited scope Zone of Truth.
Okay.
This is basically her being above board, basically, and saying, I'm not going to ask all these questions just because I can. She's going very limited scope, which should present her as a more trustworthy figure to the party.
Well, I remember being in the library, just the regular section of the library. And then I remember they told me that I was caught in the restricted section, and that was it.
Can you tell me what was in the restricted section?
No.
This is not part of this. Okay. Do you remember why they said you were caught?
No. It's just that they told me that I was caught there. That's it.
I see. Do you remember anything else about that night? Any people, any objects, anything you did?
That's a good question, DM.
You wouldn't.
Then no, I do not.
Your compulsion from the suggestion spell is now broken.
Yay!
I see. It is very clear here, and is my professional opinion, that your memory has indeed been either altered or wiped from that night. I cannot determine the source of it, but I can tell you that whatever memories were there are no longer. Does this satisfy your request, Octaya?
Yes, I was on mute.
Okay, that's okay. Very well. Do you need any further services from me before I take my leave?
No.
She nods politely.
Have a good day.
She takes her hand off the book, as promised.
Mm-hmm.
She knocks on the door to be let out, and she is let out. The door locks behind her. Again, physically and magically locked.
Mhm.
At this time, the entire party knows that her memory has been affected in a negative way.
Hmm.
And that something on that night has caused it.
That's not true. It could have been right
Or,
afterwards.
I'm sorry, something between the time that she went in and the time after has caused her to lose her memory. I should rephrase that, yeah.
I feel like if we can prove that she physically could not enter the library, it would be easy to show that she did not steal the book. Which is why
Well,
knowing more about the library would be...
She has been confirmed based on the spells cast, by the way, that she was in the library and she was in a restricted area. That has been confirmed.
That she was in the restricted area, or that she
Yes.
was told that she was in the restricted area? Because I heard her saying that she was told.
How did you explain that, Petrie? That you were told you were in a restricted area, or that you were in the restricted area? To confirm, please.
I do believe I was told I was there.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the information that was presented was she remembers entering the library. She remembers nothing else other than being detained within the library and taken out of the library. She remembers being in the library being detained.
Mhm.
She remembers being told that she was in a restricted area. She does not actually remember being in a restricted area.
Right.
That's kind of why I was thinking about seeing if she physically could enter the restricted area. I assume there's something more than a sign saying, please do not enter the restricted area.
There's also the question of whatever she was doing before.
Mm.
Marasi, you remember anything from before?
You can remember what you were doing in the library?
Mm-mm.
Or what you were doing before on that day?
No, I don't. An entire day's a blank.
The day before?
Rossi, intelligence save, please.
7.
Ooh. Okay.
I
keep
know
going.
nothing.
I'm trying.
I know.
I'm trying.
I don't know anything.
Have you considered rolling better?
You know, I would, except that I can't, apparently.
Have you considered our Lord and Savior, our in Jesus?
I mean, I've got my own dice, but they also hate me. As you're well aware.
Yes, I am.
I mean, if I could give you my giant dice, I would. It rolls pretty well.
I mean, I can pull out my DM dice and see what happens.
Watch, now that it doesn't count, it's going to be like an 18.
Probably.
Definitely.
And which the next time she rolls, it'll be like a 2.
2. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen here? Okay, good dice.
That's why you don't...
14.
14. Okay, that
Plus
would
2
have
is a
passed.
16?
That would have passed. Yeah, you needed a 15.
Well then.
Yep. Well, do you remember you talking to anyone the day before it all goes blank? Anyone in
Just-
particular? Anyone different?
I mean, just regular classmates. And my family and my friends, that's it. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's just your regular day.
Intelligence save on that statement, please.
I'm not rolling a roll 20 anymore.
That's fine.
Wow.
Refuse!
Look at what Nara did. He
It's
tainted
intelligence
Wolfron.
save, 18.
There we go. There we go. Naura. Hey, look, Naura, you were the catalyst of a good roll. Petrie,
Yes.
The curse remains.
Marassi suddenly has a bit of a headache.
Oh,
I will
great.
flip off this
Lovely.
curse.
You're getting what seems to be a vision in your mind.
Those always go well.
A vision of hang on. Give me a second. Why can't I ever pull up the thing? Oh, there we go. I have too many things on my Roll20 list. Hold on a second. What? Why are you suddenly getting a vision of Ralia
Wait, what?
outside the library?
That's weird, actually. That's legitimately weird. Okay.
It looks like the two of you are talking.
Not
But-
sure why.
No specifics.
Teleported us.
You kind of blank out for a few seconds and then come to.
So, I mean, apparently I remember meeting Ralia that day. Talking to him in front of the library for a little bit.
Anything you can think of after that? Anything at all? Just keep focusing on it.
Oh, keep focusing on it. Oh, we're gonna go that route. Okay, intelligence save, please.
Okay, I will keep thinking about it. As my brain decides to implode with a 20. Not natural, but a 20.
Non-natural
Ah,
wouldn't
so
have mattered.
close.
Non-natural
Would not
20.
have mattered. Would not have mattered if it's natural. You just need to roll over 15
Good dice.
or 15 or better. Excuse me, 15 or better. You think deeper. It's a bit of a nasty headache, though, Rossi. But you focus through the headache. Ralia appears to be upset at you. Upset in not upset in a condescending manner. More of an upset in a what are you doing manner. It looks like you're trying to gain entry into the library for some reason. After hours.
That's odd.
This is good news
In-
for the puzzle.
The next thing, things become blurry. The next thing you know, you see another vision pulling a book out of a section.
Huh.
But it is not the book that is in your possession. You come to again.
Do I know which section that was? Do I recognize it?
I'll be
You
right
would not
back.
have enough. You would. Let's make a intelligence. No. Let's make a. It's either gonna be intelligence or wisdom. I'm gonna say a history check.
Okay. 15.
15 will be just enough. It's definitely in the forbidden section. It's definitely in a section of the library that would not be in a public use. It would also not be a section that would be available for Mages Guild members. This is in a... If they're basically accusing you of being in a forbidden section of a library, the shoe does seem to fit if this vision is true.
So, focusing more on it, Valdir, it does appear that I think I was in the forbidden section of the library, the restricted section. And there was...
Do you reckon? Go on.
I remember a book, pulling it off the shelf, and Ralia seemed upset that I was trying to get into the library. But I don't know how I got into the library or why he let me pass. If he was there.
Is that all we could discover?
Keep at it, lass.
Full up intelligence save.
No.
You're getting closer each time. Anything you can get on it.
7.
Yeah, that headache's getting real bad right now. It's hard to think clearly.
Taya, who has been sitting listening to this, is going to. She can cast spells in here, can't she?
What are you trying to cast? Let's start there.
Guidance. It's a cantrip, not a spell.
Cantrip.
Oh.
This would be okay.
Okay.
Rossi, one more roll, please. As a result of the guidance cantrip.
Okay.
And I'll roll the d4.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say again?
Not
Wait,
gonna
hang on.
get-
Or they
Wait,
roll
say-
d4, not me.
You roll a d4. Okay. So
I
you get to roll a
roll. Who
d4.
rolls?
Oh, sorry. Whoever rolls.
I'll roll the
Oh.
bloody d4. I've got one.
No.
I don't care.
Got it.
I don't care.
16 plus whatever your d4 is.
Hold
Plus 1.
Fuck.
17.
17.
I got a
Yeah, that'll
3.
work.
Just saying. Kidding. Love you too.
You're able to concentrate through the pain. You open the book and a bright flash of light comes out of the book.
Well, it's obviously not the book that I have. That never happens.
At which point, someone is forcibly closing the book on you. It's Ralia. And Ralia is angry.
It's understandably so.
You are indeed accosted at that point. I mean, not accosted. You are detained at that point, and seems to follow along with at least the initial events that you were accused of that led to your exile. Or at least that's what they're stating. These visions seem to be truth, or at least as far as your own memory is concerned. I need a follow-up. I need one more check. This will not be intelligence. I need a wisdom save.
Oh boy, my favorite. Natural
Can I do
20.
guidance again?
Hey! Clutching it hard. There it is.
My wisdom
Now
is converged unto you. How do you feel?
Nara, take a bow.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. These visions are almost like they're bits and pieces, but you get this nagging feeling in the back of your mind. Which hang on just a second. I need to whisper these to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, hang on. Sent in Discord.
Yeah, I see it. I'm reading it. Give me a second. That first one is kind of a... Okay. I mean, the second... Yeah, that's... Yeah. None of this makes sense, I know. Okay.
All of the what the fucks from the nat
Exactly.
20.
I know. Get all the what the fucks.
Yeah. And now, because you nat 20'd, free roll intelligence save.
Hey.
I'm assuming that's a no.
That's a
Yeah.
6.
That's okay. It was a free roll.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
I'll be right.
that headache, all that just flooding into your mind, so many things, just it overwhelms you. You can't concentrate.
Ow.
That your head is, you got a splitting headache.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I remember doing what they said I did, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense that I'd be at the library like that. It's... I would go to the library with friends, but I wouldn't go there alone. There's no reason. And why on earth would Raya be talking to me outside of a library? Just none of this makes sense. I can remember these things, but they don't seem... I don't know. It's like, did this actually happen, or am I remembering it wrong?
Kojiro, since you passed prior rolls, you can make this roll. Insight check, please.
Yay! But also, no!
No? Oh, 11. No. I'm
My
sorry.
insight's not that good.
Definitely not making.
Not quite. Proceed.
Well, we've got more than we had.
Yeah. So one thing, Rossi,
Yes.
didn't you say you weren't you exiled for the whole kind of different thing, not this? Just doesn't matter.
The reasons they gave me for being exiled made no sense in the first place. I kind of guessed their reasoning.
Well, the trial right now is for if you've taken the book.
I did see a book. It wasn't the book that I have.
Could you describe it?
Book-like.
You would be able to describe it clearly,
Then
Petrie.
yes, I can.
The book is, and I'll describe it because I don't think I've given you this description.
Nope.
The book is an untitled book. It is monocolor. It is the color. Actually, it is a reddish brown type of color cover. The book is about the size of maybe an encyclopedia, a one volume of an encyclopedia, if that makes sense in terms of point of reference. It would also be similar in size to the books to the book that Petrie has, or that Marassi has. It'd be similar in size to that. But it's definitely a different color. It does have a distinctive feature on the front cover, though. It has a symbol, which does not appear to be anything involving writing. It is definitely a symbol. The symbol would appear to be something that perhaps an elf would make, but not one of the current generation. this would be generations back. We're talking about pre-First Great War back. Petrie, you would recognize the symbol, however. It is the same symbol that is on your book.
Wait a minute. But it's not the same
But it is
book.
not the same book. No, it is not. It is the same symbol, but not the same book. Does
So
that make sense?
Yeah. So I'll flip the book that I have over and show it to Octaya. It's like, does this mean anything to you? Because it was on both books.
Octaya, history check, disadvantage. You are not a member of the Mages Guild.
Book with no title, volume 2.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
I don't appreciate you.
Well, normal would have been an 8 anyway. No, you would not recognize
But
this
an
book. At least.
advantage would have been a 16.
But I can't give you advantage on that. Not that check. Wait. You're a druid.
Yeah.
Scratch that. You would have advantage then. The 16 counts.
Hey.
I forgot you are a druid. Yes, so you get that. Yeah, so you would have actually gone to that school for some time in your history in some way, shape, or form, or would have had teachings from that school, whether or not it was physically there or not.
Teachings from the school, I'll agree with.
Yeah, you would not, regardless of whether you had been physically there or not, it wouldn't matter. You have some information that will help here. That symbol has some level of druidic meaning.
Hmm.
And not the warm and fuzzy kind. You see, that symbol that's on Marassi's book, it looks pleasant up top, but you notice on the bottom of the symbol, it's not the same color. In fact, it is black. Pure black. The type of symbol that says this, that would say this might be knowledge that is potentially rotten at its roots.
Mm-hmm.
TLDR is scary shit, no touch. Forbidden is a good way to put it. There's a good reason that these books might have been kept under, kept in a more forbidden area. It's a pretty good. There's a pretty good reason why. I mean, Marassi's already told you some information about that. The fact that there's another book out there that has a similar looking symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's been bad.
They just seem to find me.
I didn't say Marassi was bad. I said somebody else out there is bad.
That seemed that way.
Actually, I should point this out as well. Because the party at Octaya, actually the entire party can roll history on this.
But I roll history again.
You can roll history. This is at normal. This is at normal.
I'm gonna switch to my
Kojiro's
actual
good.
D20.
11.
Kojiro's good.
11 as well.
My knowledge of history is quite well.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
Switch to my actual D20.
Wimtoss, Kojiro, and Croesus. And in this case, I will actually roll for Magnus because this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Got a
that's
hinge
not
what
fair.
this might be.
Hang on. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this for Magnus. Here we go. History check for Magnus. Natural 3. Okay. For those of you, well, the good news is Magnus himself doesn't have to know this, but the rest of anybody who rolled over a 15, hey, actually no, 13,
Thanks.
over a 13. Hey, that looks familiar. Didn't y'all pick up a book that had a similar cover to that back in the Elvenlands?
We're in the Elvenlands.
When you
the
got
dead
the,
drop,
when you got the pickup.
the dead drop area, as your eyeballs should be moving towards Magnus at this particular moment.
Wait, dead drop area.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Dun, dun,
you weren't there.
dun.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Wait,
so I
you
wouldn't
mean the
know.
one that Octaya went back and picked up?
Yeah?
Yes.
Takes
But
the
it's-
gnome, the halfling, and shakes the book out of him.
But Marasi,
Hmm.
that's not the book either.
No, it's not. I think that this may just be a general marking of not good.
Or the mark of an author.
Is it in Druidic?
This is
like,
a mark-
Is it written in Druidic?
What? The symbol?
marking. Yeah.
It is not actually written in Druidic. It is a symbol that would be
But
recognized
it's
by
not
a
a
druid.
glyph. But it's not a
Yeah.
glyph.
Yeah. So it is a symbol
Would
that
it be-
any druid worth their weight. It is not a. I'm trying to find a way how to put this. Like,
So Octaya knows what it means.
It's
Yes.
a universally bad symbol.
it's a universally in this realm a universally druidic symbol for this shit is rotten at its core.
It's like the biohazard symbol. There's no actual words attached to it. You just know that it's a biohazard thing.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Basically,
I already hear that with the
yeah.
party.
it looks nice up top. It's evil as fuck at the bottom. Yeah, effectively, it's it's a druidic skull and crossbones. Basically, yes, not an elvish one, but a druidic.
Warning, mimetic hazard ahead.
Yep.
Biohazard imminent. Anyway,
Can we,
by the way, if it is of any relevance to you, Octaya, it
Mhm.
appears that symbol that is on both of the books shown to you,
Mhm.
you would not need to roll for this. Both of those symbols appear to have been added to the book later than the book was made.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Alright, so I will relay that information to the
Okay.
party.
Hmm.
Like, and when I'm talking about later, I mean this symbol is within the last 100 years fresh.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand. So Octaya will relay that to the party and
You hear a knock at the cell door, or not the cell door, but the knock at the holding room door. I've been told to tell you that you have 5 minutes remaining until the second phase.
So where do we go from here, Octaya?
I don't know.
Because
Back to court, I suppose.
it just doesn't make sense while I was in the library.
Maybe you weren't of the library of your own volition.
Do you think?
I mean, I remember
Really?
being there.
You remember being there.
But I don't
And
remember-
Aurelia
Do you
let
remember
you
being there under a spell? Or do you remember walking there willingly?
I can't remember one way or the other.
Can we bring back in the mage?
We don't have time, love.
bring up the fact that she was there, but Aurelia was overseeing it. Force them to disclose information, possibly catch them in a lie.
We can't say that they lied.
There's
You're
no
right,
need to say
but if
that
you
they're
prove
lying.
they are,
All you have to do is ask them why they were at the library as well. Ask them why Ryla was the one slamming the book closed, and ask Ryla how she got into the library.
why she was in that section.
You said you saw Ryla before, correct, Marasi?
Mm-hmm.
You were speaking with her outside the library.
Yes.
Ask
you
her
know
why she let
exactly
you in.
I I don't remember how I got into the library. Or all I remember is standing at the entrance of the library, talking to Ralia, and then I remember being in the restricted section, pulling a book off the shelf, and then there's a bright flash of light, and then Ralia closed the book, and she was very angry.
Ask her how you got in then. You don't remember, but you remember talking to her.
Yeah.
So the obvious answer is, how the fuck did I get in there? And why were you in there as well?
That makes sense. You could ask those questions. But I don't know, can we ask questions of Ralia?
Just call her as a witness.
You would have to put her. It is too late for the first phase, but you could call her in the second phase of the second stage as a witness, but you'd have to add her to the list specifically. But for first phase, it's too late.
Okay.
So the answer is not yet, basically.
Pen her in when you can, love.
Nira, do you remember what Ralia said to you before you went to the library?
Nothing specific. Just the tone of her voice, really.
Knock at the door happens. It's time.
I have to go in 10 minutes.
I know, and we're about to wrap up this session.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to guide
Yeah.
you to that place.
I'm getting you to the hook you need to be at.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's time. Are you ready in there?
So we've got quite a bit ready, eh?
Yeah, all you guys could hope for.
I say we can hope for a shite ton more. That's all we're gonna get at this moment, though.
Well, things are either going to go in our favor or against.
And with that, the door begins to unlock. That head guard appears once again. Marasi, take one.
Yep.
Okay.
What about?
Marasi is unable to speak. And you are led once again into the trial area. Marasi, when you arrive there, you're not going to like this. There are two individuals that are sitting in the witness section of the prosecution side. And Octaya, if you had checked your notes, you would have seen them in there. Falar and Hayen are sitting in the witness section of the prosecution side. Falar, visibly distraught at the fact that he's there. Hayen, stone-faced.
Well,
You're right,
things
it's
are
worse.
just getting fabulous.
Or else it's worse.
I know.
Oh boy.
Prosecution side returns to their bench. And Rayla kind of looks over towards Octaya and gives that grin that you just want to slap someone for giving off.
Yes.
Yeah, that grin.
Okay. But I can't slap her.
No,
Shame.
no,
Yep.
not yet. Yes, maybe later, but not now. Halema returns to the seat that has been given to her by the elders. By the way, Octaya, did you call in any witnesses, any living witnesses yourself? Just want to make sure.
Wimtoss.
Wimtoss, okay. Wimtoss would already be there. Who
I
else?
don't think I called anyone Unless
Anyone else?
Marcy
Okay.
had anyone she wanted me to call in, but
Marasi, did you have anybody that you were trying to call in besides
Thoughts?
Ralia?
No.
Okay, I'm asking
Okay.
player to player. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. I understand that we are all here. Everyone has their witnesses in place. Let us begin the second phase of the trial then. But that'll happen next time.
Yeets.
Well, this has got interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a request.
This is
Uh-huh.
fun.
What's up? Ataya Esquire. Fantastic.
Yes.
Kojiro, go ahead. Mal, you said you had a request?
Yeah, no, I'm doing it
Oh.
in GM.
Aha!
Kojiro's thinking right now.
You may make that roll.
He has
Make
a
it-
suspect.
Make it public if you would, please.
Ooh.
Make it a public roll.
Yes!
19. Kojiro,
Yep.
you would know that you know that this prosecution knows a lot more than you do right now.
Yep.
The general vibe that she is giving off right now seems to be one of not just confidence, but one of, I've already won. You've seen this look on the battlefield a few times. One from overly cocky warriors.
Yeah, I've probably also seen it among the other lords as well.
You would have seen. Oh yeah, there's been a lord or two you might have seen that have yeah.
I hate that look.
Here's the thing though. It's also the look of someone that's overplaying their hand.
Yep. I know.
Their overconfidence
Okay.
also breeds. Also, it's like the poker bluff.
The overconfident
You lead
poker bluff.
You lead with strength,
Yeah.
but really, your hand might not be as strong as you lead on. You're getting that sense from Raylan.
I'm glaring daggers at this person. I am tempted to open my mouth, but I'm not going to yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because Kojiro knows everything he says it will hold some type of gravity either for positive or negative.
Yeah.
So he will keep his mouth shut for now.
That will end the session for today. Petrie, if you'll take us out.
I don't like being on trial. It's no fun. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully that's gonna work out with Valari and Heian. I mean, I shouldn't have my best friends here. That's not good. Also, this is not a good person. This Ralia. I do not like her at all. Flip the table at her. All right. Well, we'll be back next week, same time, same channel, and hopefully we'll get some more answers. So I hope. Honestly, I'm learning as much as the party is right now because I didn't know these things before it happened, so that's just cool, I guess. Backstory's a mystery for reasons. Either way, we'll be back next week. See you later.